Hello, KnowJesusKnowPeace, or man from Modesto, I don't know what you prefer to be called. Whatever, you know who you are, and I know who you are, and that's all that matters. This is my response to your video, response to my video, response to your video that has been going on between us. I know it's taken a few days, but I've finally got around to do it. Now this video is probably going to be a bit shorter than you may have expected, or may not have expected. I don't know your thought processes, as is abundantly clear in my last response, and subsequently this one, as you will see when I get to it. First and foremost, I'm not actually Australian or from New Zealand. I'm actually from the UK. It actually says that I'm from the UK on my actual channel page. But whatever, I'm not holding that against you. I have nothing against the Australians or the New Zealanders. I actually have Australian relatives. I don't feel ashamed to be associated with them, so it's not that big a deal. I would just say I don't really see how my accent sounds at all like the Australian accent, but whatever, doesn't matter. Getting back to the actual response, let me just explain how I usually respond to responses. What I usually do when I make video responses to responses is I will watch the video once, and then I'll go away for a while and think about it, and then I'll come back and watch it a second time, and that time I will make notes. Here are my notes for your video. As you can see, they are quite extensive. I've made quite a lot of notes. Mostly they were nitpicking your arguments, just finding little inconsistencies, qualifying myself on issues that you've brought up. But about 3/4 through your video, I realised that, well, you didn't actually answer my question. In your original video, you said there's a bad teaching around the world, YouTube or whatever, that if God created everything, God is an omniscient, all-knowing entity, then he must have created everything that is bad as well. And you said this was a bad teaching. And you specifically, apparently, rebuked this argument by going to the book of Jeremiah. In that you said that God said, "This had never came into my mind," or heart, or whatever. The bad things that were contained in that verse, that were referred to in that verse, did not come into the mind of God. My exact response was, how can it not enter into the mind of an all-knowing, omniscient God? Which is basically an applied version of, how can God not be responsible for evil if he created everything knowingly? You didn't actually answer that question. You said specifically at some point, I can't remember at what point, I'm not going to go back and find out exactly when you said it, because I'm lazy, I don't know. Sloth is one of the 7 deadly sins. Whatever, I'm an atheist, I don't care. But anyway, I specifically remember you at some point in your response to my response to your video saying, and I'm paraphrasing you here, that God is not responsible for everything, he's testing us. Now that's a whole different argument, the idea that God is testing us, and it's not one I particularly want to get into at the moment, because I'd like this particular issue to be resolved first. If you really want to discuss it from me, I'd be happy for you to PM me or whatever. But the point is, you didn't answer the question that I posed to you. I posed it in a comment and I posed it in a video. How is God not responsible for bad things happening if he knowingly created everything? That is the problem, commonly referred to as the problem of evil. Most of your video was basically preaching to me, which I honestly don't have anything against, I don't really mind. You just didn't answer the question. So get back to me if you can, or if you indeed actually want to. So yeah, number 1 on the agenda, please answer my question. I'm not pressuring you. If you want to, please do. If you don't want to, don't. Get back to me, man from Modesto. Get back to me. I'm from the UK, you can tell by my English accent. I'm talking like I'm from London, aren't I?